My name is Karita Mbagara, and I welcome you to CITAM ChurchOnline. I want today to talk about fear. And when I talk of fear, it reminds me of an incident that I had when we were in the university. We went visiting a home with a group of students. And while we were eating, we heard a loud scream from one of the members of the group. This was a sister who had been touched by a cat, and she had very, very great phobia for cats. And it is this that had made her to scream. And I will never forget that that sister could not even eat thereafter because of a phobia of cat. Fear has a paralyzing effect in the lives of the people. It stops us from achievement, whichever form it takes. It may be the fear of failure. There are people who fear to fail, and because of that, they never try. They never try to do something just because they don't want to be called failures. It could also be fear of evil, because yes, in life there are evil things that happen, and because of that, there are people who become paralyzed because of that. But there is also what I call fear of being alone, aloneness. When you are alone, you feel that you can't progress. You always require other people either to stand with you, to side with you, and therefore you either compromise on your position or you compromise on what you should do because you cannot afford to be alone. You fear being alone. And that can be very, very detrimental for one who is a Christian, and perhaps you are dealing with non-Christians who don't think the way you think. Just the fear of being alone may make you to compromise on matters very important like faith. But we also know that there is fear of rejection. People who fear being rejected or being denied. But I want to say that you can overcome fear. And how do you overcome it? First and foremost, you need to have God on your side. And that's what we find in the life of David. Psalm 3 is actually written by David when he was freeing from his son Absalom. And in this psalm, in verse 5, he says, "But you, Lord, are a shield around me, my glory, the one who lifts my head high." When he says, "But you, Lord," it is because he says earlier that there are people that are against him. There are many people that have reason to fight him, and some are saying he will not even be delivered. But he says, "But God, you are my help. You are the shield. You are the one who protects me." And because of that, he goes on to say in verse 6, "I will not fear, though tens of thousands assail me on every side." I will not fear despite the fact that there may be enemies coming from the front, from behind, from the sides. And the reason David gives is because he knows God, because he is living with God. And I want to say it is when we know God that we actually are able to overcome and to win the battles against the fear that is sold to us by the devil. The devil uses fear to bring us to the place where we cannot believe God. He wants to bring us down and defeat us, and his greatest weapon is fear. But when we have God on our side and we consider who he is, then we will be able to say that we will not fear. This same David, when you check in the book of Psalms 27, verse 3, he also says a similar thing, and I just want to read that verse. "Though an army besiege me, my heart will not fear. Though war break out against me, even then I will be confident." But when you read that, you need to know the background with which he is saying that. He starts by saying, "The Lord is my light. He is my shepherd." And it is out of that confidence and relationship with God that he gets to the place where he says, I will not be afraid. In fact, he says, I will sleep and sleep, very well because of my trust and confidence in God. We could cite many examples. A man like Gideon, who could not go to battle because he was asking, who am I? He was despising himself. He said, I come from the smallest tribe, the smallest clan, the smallest family. I am unknown. But when he encountered God and he dealt with God, over time, he became a great general that defeated a formidable force that had come against him. I want to encourage you. Learn to meditate on the Word of God, to walk with God, and you will be able to overcome the fear that you have been facing and that has kept you, paralyzed you so that you can't make movement. And whether it's the fear of failure or evil or aloneness, or whether it's rejection, you will be able to overcome it. And that's how you will move from fear to faith, by knowing God. And the people that know their God are strong and do exploits. You have that capacity to do exploits, and that's what I desire for you. God bless you as you practice this. Share this with your friends if it is a blessing to you. And see you next time when another clip comes up. Thank you.